If a woman can switch off her interest in you in a single heartbeat when you thought you were flawless, here's the brutal truth. It's not your face, it's not your wallet, and it's not your rank. It's your words. One careless sentence, one honest confession said with the wrong cadence, and everything you built evaporates. Attraction is a fragile currency. Spend it poorly and you bankrupt yourself. Today I'll hand you 15 rules, hard, non-negotiable, survival-grade rules about what you must never say to a woman. Break them and you won't merely lose traction, you'll hand her the map to your weaknesses. Obey them and you'll stay solid, magnetic, and in control. This isn't about lying. It's about strategy, protecting your frame so desire stays on your terms. Rule 1: never unload your deepest insecurities. Somewhere between well-meaning advice and modern therapy, men were told, be vulnerable. Be open. That line is a trap. Vulnerability sells sympathy, not desire. When you confess, I'm afraid I'm not good enough, or sometimes I feel like everything might collapse, you think you're authentic. In reality, you're opening a slow-motion self-sabotage. Comfort is a cheap immediate payoff. Respect is a long-term compound interest. A woman may cradle you for 5 minutes. Her hands are not currency, her instinct is. Once she registers a crack in your armor, a primal calculation begins. Can this man protect me? Can he lead when things break? If you show the process of your collapse rather than the evidence of your recovery, the answer leans toward no. Fight your demons elsewhere. Crush them in the gym. Discipline them on your schedule. Confide in a brother or a mentor, not across a candlelit table. To her, present only the man who has already done the work, scarred but standing. That is the man she admires. That is the man she follows. Rule 2: never state the exact number of past partners. This question is never about numbers. It's a pressure test disguised as curiosity. Answer too high and you become a player, a moving target she cannot trust. Answer too low and invisible doubt floods in. Why weren't more attracted to him? What's missing? Either way, you lose if you hand over raw data. Don't hand her the weapon she's trying to cock. Handle the pressure like a man who cannot be rattled, calm, mildly amused, and dismissive by design. Say something that reframes the moment. I've lived enough to know what I want now, the past is irrelevant. Or, I've learned what matters. What matters is now. Those lines keep mystery alive and deny her ammunition. Machiavelli taught rulers to keep resources opaque. Your past is the same, keep the gates closed. Rule 3: never disclose precise finances. How much do you make is a deceptively simple question. It's a probe. Reveal too little and you appear small. Reveal too much and you become a walking ledger, a target for expectations and calculations. Money converts affection into logistics. Don't let affection become accounting. Answer with direction, not digits. I'm financially secure and building something that lasts. I can take care of my life and build a future. That response sells movement and vision, not numbers. Women don't crave spreadsheets, they crave the scent of upward motion, a man who is climbing. Give her the climb, not the balance sheet. Rule 4: never parade your wounds from betrayals. Complaints about exes, long monologues about how you were wronged, or endless lists of betrayals, they're all a sign of a man who carries his past in the open. That baggage becomes an invitation for pity or judgment, never desire. Scars tell a story. Don't make them the headline. Show the lesson, not the bleeding. I've been tested, I learned, I leveled up, that's a signal of growth. A man who broadcasts his hurt is a man still stuck in yesterday. Women want a man who mastered his past and transferred its fuel into strength. Rule 5: Never beg for attention, reassurance, or constant contact. Neediness is a drain. Clinginess is the fastest route from intrigue to indifference. Texting incessantly, demanding replies, fishing for validation, these are the behaviors of a man who hasn't anchored himself. Anchor yourself. Be present when you are present and absent with purpose when you are not. Absence amplifies value. The man who is comfortable with his own life becomes magnetic because he is not dependent on hers. This isn't a game of manipulation, it's a demonstration of self-possession. Don't ask her to be the source of your mood. Be the source of your own momentum. Rule 6: Never apologize for being decisive or for setting boundaries. Weak apologies announce uncertainty. If you decided and she disagreed, stand by the decision unless you have a real reason to change. Leaders adjust after evidence, not after discomfort. People who lead with constant self-abasement lose the right to lead. Boundaries are attractiveness. They tell the world and her what you accept. Fracture them frequently and you erode respect. Hold them with calm, not rigidity. Explain with clarity, not pleading. Rule 7: Never rush into declarations of "I love you" or demand commitment too early. Love is earned and declared with gravity. Throwing the words "I love you" like confetti cheapens them and collapses mystery. Pressure a relationship forward before the foundation settles and you transform desire into obligation. Move with intentional pace. Let devotion arrive as an effect of your presence, not as a claim you force upon another. This is not about manipulation for its own sake. This is about self-mastery. The most magnetic men don't play games, they play the long match. They cultivate strength, clarity, and presence so that their words carry weight. They are truthful where it matters and deliberate where weakness would cost them everything. Machiavelli's lesson remains: power is the appearance of power. But here's the modern refinement: generate the reality too. Build internal strength so that the posture of confidence you present is not a mask but the aftermath of real work. Let your silence be strategic. Let your answers be anchored in direction. Let your presence be the thing that draws, not the desperation that repels. When you choose between cheap sympathy and long-term respect, choose respect every time. 5 minutes of comfort is a poor price for a lifetime of lost authority. Protect your frame. Control your language. Demand the respect that fuels desire. Do this and attraction becomes not a fickle weather pattern but your climate. Rule 8: Never ask her to define where this is going. The moment you beg for clarity, you've already lost clarity. Weak men sit trembling, waiting for her to validate them with a label. Are we serious? Do you see a future? That question reeks of desperation. It tells her you're not the man steering the ship, you're the passenger praying the captain won't throw you overboard. Understand this: a man who knows his value doesn't ask. He sets direction. He doesn't chase labels. He builds reality. A woman follows when she feels your forward motion. She hesitates when she senses hesitation. Never demand a title. Instead, embody a path so undeniable she either walks beside you or gets left behind. Rule 9: Never confess jealousy outright. Nothing detonates desire faster than saying, "I'm jealous." It paints you as small, threatened, reactive, the opposite of powerful. A king doesn't panic when others look at his throne. He knows it's his throne. He knows challengers are irrelevant. The man who blurts, "Why were you talking to him? Why did he text you?" reveals not passion but insecurity. Control is lost. Respect evaporates. She sees you not as a fortress but as a crumbling wall. If boundaries are crossed, enforce them with steel, not whining. Say less, act more, withdraw presence, not words. The man who punishes disrespect with silence and decisive action needs no emotional speeches. Fear doesn't come from words. It comes from consequences. Rule 10: never whine about fairness. Life isn't fair. Attraction isn't fair. You complaining about double standards or unfair treatment only highlights your lack of options and lack of leverage. Kings don't cry about unfair rules. They bend reality until the rules change, or they build a realm where their rules dominate. When you moan about how women have it easier or how good guys finish last, you're broadcasting scarcity. You're showing that you're trapped in a game you can't win. A man with abundance doesn't cry about odds, he multiplies his options until the odds don't matter. Rule 11: never talk about quitting. Every man has dark nights. Every man has moments where the weight crushes him. But voicing, "I can't do this anymore, maybe I should give up," in front of her is worse than blood in the water. Sharks smell weakness. So do women. She doesn't want a man who collapses under pressure. She wants a man who rages against it. Quitting talk infects her with doubt. If he folds here, what about when the real war begins? When exhaustion hits, bleed in silence. Scream into the void, not into her lap. Then rise and keep moving. A man's power is not the absence of fatigue, it's the refusal to die by it. Rule 12: never reveal your strategy before you execute it. Telling her every detail of your plans before they happen destroys mystery. A man who telegraphs his moves looks like a boy seeking permission. "I'm thinking of doing this. Maybe I'll try that. What do you think?" That's not leadership. That's consultation. Instead, move with quiet precision. Execute. Let results speak. She doesn't want to walk you through every step of your mission. She wants to wake up one day and realize she is with a man who decides, acts, and conquers without begging for applause. Plans whispered are fragile. Plans completed are undeniable. Rule 13: never explain your masculinity. A wolf doesn't explain why it hunts. A lion doesn't justify why it roars. Yet weak men fall into the trap of apologizing for being direct, for wanting sex, for being ambitious, for being aggressive. They soften their edges, hoping she'll approve. Wrong. She doesn't respect approval seeking. She respects unapologetic existence. Masculinity explained is masculinity neutered. Don't explain. Live. If she cannot handle the weight of your presence, she'll flee. Let her. The throne was never built for those who tremble before it. Rule 14: never betray your solitude. The moment you admit, "I can't be alone. I need someone. I'm nothing without you," you've confessed the ugliest weakness of all: dependence. Dependence is repulsive. It transforms you from prize into parasite. A man's value multiplies when he thrives in solitude. The man who builds, who grows, who sharpens himself in silence radiates power when he re-enters the world. A man who cannot be alone radiates desperation. And desperation kills attraction. Here's the iron law: every careless word either feeds your aura or bleeds it. Weak confessions, needy questions, desperate disclosure, they are poison. Speak with precision. Reveal only what strengthens your presence. Let mystery do its work. Let silence sharpen your edge. Machiavelli's rulers didn't hand their enemies maps to the palace. Why should you hand a woman a map to your weaknesses? Attraction is not maintained by honesty at all costs. It's maintained by controlled exposure. By framing. By power. You are not a diary. You are not a confession booth. You are the storm and the calm that follows. So remember, respect is oxygen. Desire is fire. Your words can smother both or fuel them endlessly. Choose wisely. Rule 15. Never announce weakness disguised as being tired of the game. Weak men whine, "I'm done with women. I'm sick of dating. I just want peace." What she hears is, "I couldn't compete. I surrendered." You may think you're expressing maturity, but in her instincts, it's resignation. Defeat is not attractive. The battlefield doesn't admire soldiers who quit. It admires those who keep marching even when their boots are soaked in blood. A king doesn't complain about the game. He bends the game until it's his. If the system doesn't favor you, build your own system. The moment you show weariness, you've surrendered the crown. Never justify why you deserve respect. Respect is seized, not negotiated. The man who explains why he should be respected is already on his knees. Women don't follow men who beg. They follow men who radiate gravity so undeniable that questioning it feels absurd. Stop talking about what you deserve. Show it. Command it. Let your presence speak louder than your explanations. The lion doesn't beg the jungle to acknowledge him. His roar makes acknowledgement mandatory. Never complain about other men. The second you say, "Guys like him always win," women just want bad boys. No one values nice guys anymore. You've exposed your envy, your impotence, and your self-comparison. You've admitted, "I cannot dominate in the same arena. I resent those who can." That is weakness, and weakness reeks. Stop counting other men's victories. Forge your own. If she senses you fear rivals, you are already defeated in her eyes. Women want the man who views rivals as dust, not obstacles. The alpha doesn't flinch when wolves circle. He sharpens his teeth. Never hand over your full transparency. There is a seductive lie in the idea that true love means telling her everything, every detail, every thought, every plan. That level of transparency is not intimacy, it's self-disarmament. Mystery is fuel. Opaqueness is magnetism. A man with nothing hidden is a man with nothing left to discover and therefore nothing left to desire. Hold back. Keep layers. Keep shadows.